Good morning and or evening, everybody. How are you? This is Tangent. I'm Jack.
I guess now we know why I usually start off the episode.
Wow, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Good morning. Did you mean to say that, or did you catch yourself and then say and or evening?
Well, we release these at like 9 a.m. normally, unless you're in charge.
That's true. That's true. Hey now. It was one time. One time.
Yeah, it's 100% of the times you've...
True.
Anyway, I'm Jack. Austin and Ryan are here as well.
Howdy doody.
As is tradition. And boys, it is a pleasure to be here with you today.
Indeed, it is.
I will say
It is
warm.
bitterly cold.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's hot in my apartment, but dang, it is cold outside.
The heat in my building at work went out. I don't know if it went out yesterday or today, but it was flippin' cold the whole day in there. It was so bad.
Are you feeling the polar vortex down in your neck of the woods, Austin?
The polar vortex, huh?
Oh yeah, we dropped like 40 degrees in one night.
It is currently, let's see what the temperature is, 18 degrees outside right now. We got some snow today, but I don't think it'll stick for very long.
We have 30 to 40 mile an hour per winds with 60 mile an hour gusts here. And I think that's what's making it so dang cold.
It's crazy windy.
It's not that bad. We're going to be in the 30s for the next like 5 days, and then we go back up to 40s. So not too terrible here.
Well, hopefully it's good temperature wherever you guys may be. And all that good stuff. I like rain. I want it to rain. I don't like wind.
We need some hardcore snow.
No. Just rain.
I don't like the snow, but we need it.
I have my first tea time of the year in Moab on Saturday, so I hope it warms up a little bit by then.
I think you'll be fine. It's Moab.
Dude,
all right.
Cold there today.
You're cold there. So, do we have anything? Do we have a drink today?
Did you go get a drink?
I just got it with the last week's one because it was like a 2 for 3 deal.
Was it the lemonade thing?
Yeah. If you don't have it, we can save it for next time.
I don't.
Okay, next time. I'm going to drink the rest of my Rockstar Punch then.
Today,
good choice.
I had a Rockstar Recovery orange. Way good.
Rockstar Recovery. Oh yeah. No, those are freaking good. That one and the lemonade one, they're both top notch.
I have
I've tried like 2 or 3 Rockstars. The Punch is my favorite.
One in my fridge right now.
It's good, dude. It's real good. Well, let's get right into this, shall we? What do you boys here know about what is known as the 51st area?
The 51st area, I believe that is Puerto Rico, if I am not mistaken.
That's the 51st. What do they call it? Territory. It's a territory. Anyway, Area 51. That's today's episode, as you could probably tell by the episode of some sort. Now, here's the thing. I've been doing research the last few days on this. I'm not sure we can fit everything in here in one episode. I could really...
on Bob Lazar at all?
I was thinking about it, yes. Bob Lazar is a big part of it, but that seriously, Bob Lazar could be his own episode.
Oh, completely.
Not even Area 51, just Bob Lazar. Anyway, so I was going to do like a Spark Notes, just kind of give it all, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to touch on the history of it, and then Bob Lazar after that, and then maybe we could do another part 2 down the line about like some of the theories and stuff's going on. Because there's some crazy stuff.
Two-parter.
Maybe even 3, who knows? But like, yeah, that's down the line. Maybe for my next one in 4 weeks I'll cover it again. We'll see. I don't know. But let's get started on this. Okay. Area 51. Aliens, right? That's what everyone associates it with.
UFOs.
Everyone knows that the real Area 51 is right field at the Seattle Mariners ballpark.
world are you talking about?
Area 51, they always called right field Area 51 because Ichiro Suzuki played right field and he was number 51. And he's like one of the best outfielders ever.
Nerd. Just kidding. I just don't care about baseball. Anyway, I did not know that. Very fun fact. Speaking of the name of Area 51, you guys know why they call it Area 51?
Independence Day.
What?
They
No.
mention it on Independence Day. That's where they go get the
No.
spaceship and everything.
That's not why. The real reason is nobody knows why for sure. So, let's start from right at the beginning.
So,
It was a build up to nothing.
Yeah, no.
very
That's
anticlimactic.
that's my job, is to build you up and then just disappoint. That's my job.
Well, you do a great job of disappointing. I will say that.
I got you. Okay, so Area 51 is the original area was 6 miles by 10 miles and was located in, what's the place called? Groom Lake. Well, just north. Anyway,
So maybe they call it Area 51 because 6 times 10.
is 60.
I don't follow you.
I'm not getting it either. Anyway, and the box of 6 by 10 miles was originally called the Groom Box, and some people just refer to it as the box. I did not know this, but it has. I did know it. You can't fly over it. You know, like airspace is restricted, but it's
Is it like
restricted.
Was it an Air Force base?
Yes, originally. Well, no, not originally, but yes, originally. But anyway, they have restricted airspace up to space, like literally space. Anything below space, you cannot go over it.
Now,
It's restricted
how far?
airspace.
I don't mean to get into astrophysics, but how far does space go from
No.
Earth?
No idea. Probably like the 200 miles or something like that. I don't remember.
Basically, what I'm getting at is if there's like a satellite that goes over, are they just shooting it down or what?
Well, satellite is in space, so. No,
I wonder if it's the Kármán line.
Anything space and below is restricted airspace. Even for military, they said. Commercial and military, you can't fly over it. The only flying that's allowed is any testing that is being done by Area 51. Nothing else.
Interesting.
And let's see. Originally, it was the Atomic Energy Commission, the AEC, set up this place, and it had a numbering grid because they used this deserty area of Nevada as atomic research, you know, just in case something went wrong, you know, thousands of people didn't die. Anyway, they had a numbering system.
So, talking about atomic research, like bombs, or doing like
So bomb research, like nuclear bunker research, like, you know, things for bombs and things to prevent against bombs and protect us from bombs, like anything atomic related. And this is a government thing. They had a numbering grid system for the area, and what was strange is that Area 51, like they all have, like, there's Area 1, there's Area 2, there's Area 3, and it goes up to, I don't know what it goes up to, actually. I didn't actually see that. But
So are all these areas contained within Groom Lake? Like, are they all in this 6 by 10 mile thing, or is that strictly Area 51?
that's strictly Area 51.
Okay.
But Area 51 is adjacent to Area 15. So some people might think just because it's adjacent, it's mirrored to it, so they mirrored it over and get 51 instead of 15. Or the other thing is that the more likely of the two theories about it is that the Atomic Energy Commission basically just said, well, let's pick a number that's high enough that we'll never get to in our actual areas. So, like, would you quit messing with your freaking camera?
Nope. I got this weird beam of light coming down. I'm trying to fix it.
It looks holy. You look holy. And so, basically, they were like, let's just pick a number high enough that it'll never interfere with the other numbers. And they're like, well, maybe we'll get up to 50, so let's just choose 51. That's the other thing.
So where's Area 15 in relation to 51?
Let's see. Area 15. Looks like Las Vegas.
Here's my question.
It is Las Vegas?
No.
If nothing can fly over Area 51, then how do we have Google Maps of it?
Because satellites don't count.
Okay.
It's in space, again. You guys really don't seem to be grasping this space thing.
We should get our buddy Brad to fly his drone over Area 51 and see what happens.
Also very, very not a good idea. Let's see.
Oh, there's a place called the Horny Airport. What? Oh, Homie Airport. Okay.
Let's see.
You're teaching these days?
Yep. Teaching reading.
Oh, geez. It is not a very good pattern. So if you Google AEC areas Nevada, and then go to images, the first one shows all the areas, I think. I'm trying to find Area 15. There's so many. No, I don't see Area... Oh, there is Area 15. So Area 15's in the upper right. I don't know how that relates to Nevada itself. It's part of the Nevada Test and Training Range, apparently. But Area 51 would be right to the right of that.
Gotcha.
At least the original one, which has since been very, very elongated. Anyway, so, do you guys know what the original intention of... So that was like the Area 51, like original intention kind of thing. But then when it actually became like a government secret base, do you know what the main thing was for that? And this is when it became an Air Force base.
What's that?
It was to... Oh, yeah, we lost you there for a second.
B-2 bomber and the... Nah, I just quit talking while you were...
Oh, no, the B-2 bomber is a little bit further down the line. The original is for the U-2, the Lockheed U-2. And it was established in 1955. And it's Project Aquatone is what it was called. It was to develop the Lockheed U-2 strategic reconnaissance aircraft. They basically wanted an aircraft that couldn't be detected by radar. And this needed to be super, super secret for obvious reasons, because this is, for warfare, basically. And if enemies knew we had a plane that couldn't be seen by radar, they would do something about it. So,
I love that when I search Project Aquatone, what comes up is like 50% planes, 50% doing water aerobics.
Nice. That's a good water aerobic team name, the Aquatones. Anyway, so let's see. It says project director Richard M. Bissell Jr. understood that the flight test and the pilot training programs could not be conducted at Edwards Air Force Base or Lockheed's Palmdale facility, given the extreme secrecy surrounding the project. Conducted the search for a suitable testing site for the U-2 under extreme security as the rest of the project. And that's where Area 51 came to be. And for the longest time, the CIA actually denied the existence of Area 51, probably for obvious reasons.
Get out!
Yep.
They denied it?
Yeah.
Well, if the CIA said it, it must be true.
The U-2 project then evolved into the Oxcart program, which was for the Lockheed A-12 and other anti-radar studies. And that then, I could go into each one of these, but this isn't a, plain podcast. That then, after that, they researched the D-21 tag board. After that, it became foreign technology evaluation.
So the A-12 Oxcart is like the precursor to the SR-71.
Yes. And after they did all that, I don't know why they named them this way. During the Cold War, one of the missions carried out by the United States was a test and evaluation of captured Soviet fighter aircraft. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. So basically, if they were to capture Russian planes or aircraft or maybe wreckage or I don't know what exactly, they'd take it to Area 51 to research it and see what they had that we didn't, and that kind of stuff.
So the UFOs are Russian?
During the 1960s, yes. They did this under the names Have Donut, don't know why, Have Drill, and Have Ferry. Whoever comes up with these names is...
So, if they're saying they have donut, that means that they have a Russian plane?
No, Have Donut is an MiG 21F-13. That was just the program for it, was Have Donut. Don't ask me why, I didn't look into it that much. And then it kept on going that way. Now, things get a little suspicious from then on.
Around what year?
Well, all of the years, let's say. First, I'm going to bring up... We're not going to go into it. This is its own episode. But I'm going to bring up the Roswell UFO. Probably the famous, most notable UFO event ever. And you can look it up. We could probably go over it another time, but that's a whole episode in itself. But it boils down to that there was a farmer, and he believes he saw what he called a flying disc, and this is before UFOs were mainstream, pop culture kind of thing. So he didn't even know what UFOs were, but he just said he saw something that looked like a disc flying, crashed into his farm, made a huge 300-foot whole crash site in his farm. He called the police to come look at it, and the police were like, I have no idea what this is, so they had to call it the military, and the military came in with big armored trucks and basically said, you need to go back inside, loaded up all the debris, and we're out of there, and he never heard about it ever again, kind of thing. Now, that is what people say is the real beginning of Area 51, where they took all of this aircraft to be studied and examined. But what's weird is that was in 1947, I believe Roswell was, and they didn't open Area 51 until 55. So that doesn't track with me, seeing as it was 10 years before even Area 51 was officially a thing. But who knows? Maybe it was a thing before we knew it. But what I thought was interesting was, did you ever know that Area 51 got sued?
For what?
By who?
Let's see. The widows of contractors Walter Kazza and Robert Frost sued the United States Air Force in Area 51.
Robert Frost sounds familiar.
I think he
was a writer.
Yeah, but not that Robert
What?
Frost.
Yeah, that's got it.
He wrote the two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled, I believe is the
Wow.
the saying.
Quote it.
Somebody went to college.
I just did.
That's
Two roads.
That's a very short poem.
Two roads diverged in a wood.
So
and I took the road less traveled.
So what
in
happened?
a yellow wood.
Oh
Okay,
my
sorry.
word.
As
much as I love poetry. Let's see. See, they alleged that they had been present when large quantities of unknown chemicals had been burned in open pits and trenches near Area 51. So, basically what it came down to was that, here, I'll even tell you. Biochemists analyzed biopsies from some bodies because 2 people died and many more got sick, and found high levels of dioxin, dibenzofuran, and trichloroethylene. Wow, I have no idea. In their body fat. The complaints alleged that they had sustained liver, skin, and respiratory injuries due to their work at Groom that contributed to the deaths of Frost and Kaza. Kaza? I don't know.
You said Zofran, Zofran?
What? Dibenzofran. Dibenzofran.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
And then, so what happened was basically these are contractors, and I guess they were helping with work there? Doesn't exactly say, but like 5 people got sick, and then 2 people died. And they said, like, yeah, they were finding, like, bad chemicals, like, in their skin. Like, whatever they're doing there, it involves bad stuff, like, for the environment, for people, for everything. So they sued. And basically what happened, there's a little bit more than this, but it basically just came down that Bill Clinton, who was the president at the time, this was 1994, Bill Clinton has basically signed a bill saying that Area 51 was not accountable for, or basically could not be charged and was not held to the same standards as the rest of the world when it comes to environmental issues.
So they had immunity, basically.
Yeah, basically they had immunity to this kind of crap.
What happens on Area 51 stays on Area 51.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, they're doing some bad crap. It killed people. It's probably going to kill the environment. Maybe have bad stuff for the air and the plants and stuff like that. And they're just like, nope, it's fine. You can't sue them anymore. They have immunity. It's like, okay. Which is, super weird. I mean, they basically just sought compensation for injuries, claiming the Air Force had illegally handled toxic materials and that the EPA had failed its duty to enforce the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, which governs the handling of dangerous materials. It says they just sued for compensation. They could have just given them money, and the whole thing would have been done with. Yeah, maybe not. They still have to deal with the environmental stuff for people. But they were just like, nope, it's all done.
Government give people money? What?
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless you got a baby's daddy.
Whoa, you cut out there for a second. Say it again.
If you got a baby's daddy, then you can get money up the yin yang.
Yeah. I forgot some key parts. I don't care what the elevation of Area 51 is. I just know that it's no longer that 6x10 mile. I apparently did not write it down what it is now, but they've expanded, I think, like 3 or 4 different times now. They would, like, buy out the land, and by buy out, I mean they, like, forced the people off their land and said, here's money, this is our land now, kind of thing.
It looks like now it is 23 miles by 25 miles.
Okay, yeah, so basically what happened is they needed more space, so they expanded, and then after that, people were still able to see the base from outside the technical borders that they placed. So they bought all the land around it again, just to have like a buffer zone where you can't even see because it's just desert, and then the base. So it's kind of crazy that they, did it that bad. And now they pay a independent contractor. This is what I thought was kind of crazy. The guards at Area 51 that you hear about or whatever? Not government. They're private? They're a private company. Let's see if I can... AECOM, I believe. Yep, AECOM is the name of the company. They are basically a security, private security. And These guys are nuts. Like, they're basically like Army Rangers type people. And they only do stuff in Las Vegas for like casinos and stuff, and this. And I learned why. Well, okay, I learned a theory as to why they don't use Army or Air Force or whoever to guard it, and they use these guys instead. Government contractors are not held to the same rules as military are. Military have rules like, the amendments, and the biggest one was what's it called? The rules for warfare.
The Geneva Convention.
Thank you. Yes, the Geneva Convention. They are not held to that. Basically, they can do whatever they want because it's private land. Now, if it were the government on government land, then they'd have to answer to the people and whatnot. But no, they just hire it out basically, and they give them lethal force authorization if needed. It's crazy, but I did not know that, and I thought that was kind of crazy. One person got close to the line once. Actually, it was a family because they were tourists. Held the mother, the father, and the two kids at gunpoint. They hadn't even crossed the line. And then there was a tour guide who was driving them around the border. Got distracted by a question about sports that one of the people asked, and accidentally drove over the line. Almost made it a mile before about 6 trucks showed up around them, pulled them all out, pushed them onto the ground, held them at gunpoint. And the only reason they didn't get jailed was because there was a camera in the truck, and they watched it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that was clearly an accident," kind of thing, because they thought for sure that they were coming in to like bomb it or something like that.
Dang.
It was crazy.
How did they get a mile onto it though? Like, if security's that tight,
it's like 28 acres or something like that. It's not small. Like, you can't have people everywhere. That would be my guess anyway. But apparently
they'd have some kind of fence or something.
That's what I thought. I was like, how do you even get past? Like, how would you be like, uh-oh, I accidentally crossed? Like, is there not a fence or a sign or something? Yeah, anyway. But that is some of the crazy stuff. Heck, I'm just going to blast through these. Here are some conspiracy theories that...
Before you go into that, while we were talking about people getting onto the base, in 2019, there was a shooting that happened. This was January 28th, where a man drove through the security checkpoint in an attempt to enter the base, and after 8 miles of being pursued by base security, the man exited his vehicle carrying a cylindrical object and then was shot dead by security officers and sheriff's deputies after refusing to obey requests to halt.
Wonder what that cylindrical object was.
Fusion chamber.
But yeah, no, these guys have lethal authorization. Like, the government says, if you need to, kill them. And
do you guys remember?
They're pardoned from that.
Was it like 2 or 3 years ago when there was the Storm Area 51 thing all going around?
What a joke, man! I saw it on the news. There was like 4 people there.
Yeah, there was that one guy that like Naruto ran past the reporter. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I was really hoping that like thousands of people would show up, but it was only like 20 or something like that. I was so sad.
They can't shoot us all. Let's go.
Yes, they can.
If they had run onto the base, it would have been kind of funny if they had anticipated it. They just locked everything up and it was just completely empty. And then they just run out onto an airport.
Dude, that's what they should have done. It's just like, seriously, like put everything in like an underground bunker that I'm sure they have. Everything. Then like put like a few like, just regular old jets in there. They storm in. It's like, oh, it's literally just some jets. Like, all right.
Or you just get some cheap, small, inflatable aliens and UFOs and throw them in there. And
dude, that's what I would do if I was in charge for Area 51.
Yep.
And the thing is, We don't actually know who's in charge of Area 51. Rumor is, not even the president knows fully what's going on in there. At least that was the case with Clinton. Clinton didn't know. I don't know past that for sure. I'm guessing Obama knew, because in 2013, Obama was the one that officially announced that Area 51 actually existed. It's the first time that they ever acknowledged the existence of it, which is kind of crazy. But then, as well, something else that I found of note is that they've almost, besides the Roswell incident, I've never found them saying, no, we don't do aliens or UFOs or anything. They never say no. They just don't answer. It's always like a we can't confirm or deny kind of thing. It's like
the way to do it.
If it wasn't aliens, wouldn't you just say, you guys are ridiculous? It's not aliens, you stupid idiots. And then they'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. They're probably right. But they're always like, we can't say. And it's just like, that means it's aliens.
You know, maybe they could have done something like what Arizona did during the Arizona Lights in the 90s, where everyone saw the UFO go through the sky, and so then...
Phoenix Lights, dude.
The Phoenix Lights, yeah. So then the government, the governor, has a guy dress up in an alien outfit, and they're like, hey, we caught the perp, and they just basically make a joke about it.
Yeah. All right, so let's quickly go into Bob Lazar first. So Bob Lazar was somebody who claimed that he did work at what was called Sector 4, which was basically right next to Area 51. Like, right next to it. I don't know what the difference was, if I'm being completely honest. It sounds like they both just do secret stuff. Bob Lazar claimed that in 1989, he had worked at Area 51's Sector 4. Okay, so Sector 4 is a part of Area 51, sorry. Said to be located underground inside the Papoose Range near Papoose Lake. He claimed that he was contracted to work with alien spacecraft that the government had in its possession. Similarly, the 1996 documentary Dreamland, directed by Bruce Burgess, included an interview with a 71-year-old mechanic engineer who claimed to be a former employee at Area 51 during the 1950s. Let's see. Bob Lazar claimed that he had worked on, quote, flying disc simulator. All right. And a bunch of other... He said they had 9 UFO spacecraft within Area 51, and he was supposed to try and reverse engineer them. He claimed they used an element that was not even on the periodic table of elements yet, element 115, which I believe is moscovium. And he said that moscovium, the aliens had used them to basically create their own gravitational force, which meant they could move, these spacecraft without any fuel and any combustion. Because they created their own gravity, basically, with element 115. Now, mind you, this element didn't exist when he said this, I'm pretty sure. Element 115 was not added to the periodic table. When was element 115 discovered? 2003 is when it was added. And I'm pretty sure he did these interviews in, like, the 90s or... Well, maybe he did it afterwards. I don't remember. He did so many.
May 1989.
Thank you. So yeah, that wasn't even on the periodic table of elements yet, which is also kind of like, ooh, they had elements we didn't even know about. Which, how many are there now? Like 118 now? Periodic table of elements. I think there's 118. I could be wrong. Yeah, 118. But yeah, moscovium. Apparently, moscovium is insanely dangerous and unstable and insanely heavy, or something like that. And apparently, according to this guy, that they have it in some lab somewhere that they were able to get it to make its own gravitational force for less than 1 second, is what he said. Who knows if that's true or not, but I mean, like, if it is, oh geez. Kind of doubt it, or else we'd have flying cars, but whatever.
So
Anyway.
supposedly they were able to use element 115 at a later time to somehow manipulate gravity.
Yes, I think so. It's what he claimed. Again, who knows? Maybe
Who's he?
Bob Lazar.
Bizarre.
Bob said that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's news to me.
Lazar claims that he examined an aircraft that ran on antimatter reactor powered by the element 115, which at the time had not yet been synthesized. He also claimed to have read U.S. government briefing documents that described alien involvement in human affairs over the past 10,000 years. He also said, which was kind of funny, I don't know if I believe this, but he said that the U.S. government had like a contract with aliens. And the deal was basically, we get to examine their stuff, but they have to keep them hidden from the public. Was the deal. Like, hey, we're aliens. If you keep us hidden and don't acknowledge resistance, we'll help you with technology or something like that. Which I don't believe that, or else we would have, much better stuff than we do now. Well, I don't know. Aliens maybe are stupid. Who knows? But anything else Lazar? I can't remember if anything else Lazar said was of super note. Lazar said a ton of stuff. He actually did this. He started when he first started, whistleblowing all of this stuff. He did it under, he did it on a news show. And he had his voice altered and didn't show his face or something like that, of one of those super anonymous things. And went by the name Dennis. Why would you go by the name Dennis? Anyway.
Supposedly, his boss that was just above him, his name was Dennis.
Oh, really?
And he was saying this to George Knapp, who was a reporter for KLAS in Las Vegas, a TV show.
Nice. And anyway, he stopped doing it under anonymity. Holy crap, it's too late for this. Anonymity. Anyway, he came out and said, all right, this is actually me, this is my identity, blah, blah, blah. And people were like, why did you do that? Why did you give up your name, basically? And he was like, they already knew it was me. I'm coming out, to the public because I want people to know if I disappear, there's a reason why. He's like, being anonymous did not help me keep me from them, so I want people to know it's me, and if I disappear, they know why, kind of thing. Which, good for him, but he, didn't get killed in any crazy car accident or whatever, so who knows. I don't know how we've been going for 40 minutes. I don't want to keep it too long. I'm trying to spark notes this. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'd say that Bob Lazar has a crazy story in and of itself that is worth diving into at another time.
Oh, for sure.
That could be multiple episodes on its own.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of funny that universities from which he claims to hold degrees from show no record of him, and supposed former workplaces have disavowed him. That seems weird to me. It's like,
that's what everyone uses to discredit him.
Well, there's more stuff on that of evidence that
I mean, if I had
at those places.
If I had someone go to my college or work at my place and then they kind of went crazy, I wouldn't be like, yeah, no, we have no idea who that guy is. We're like, oh yeah, he worked for us, or yeah, he came to here. No idea what he's doing now. I wouldn't take him off. I wouldn't disavow him or take his degree away. I feel like that's, maybe the government being like, hey, scratch that.
It was the first cancel culture.
Yeah, seriously. In 1990, he was convicted for his involvement in a prostitution ring. And again in 2006, for selling illegal chemicals. So let's be real. He wasn't fully with it, man. but I mean, he was smart. Moving on from Bob Lazar, I want to just touch on some of the more notable theories, and see what you guys think of them. I want to hear your, like, maybe not like 1 out of 10, but like believability on what these are. Okay, 1. The storage, examination, and reverse engineering of crashed alien spacecraft, including material supposedly recovered from Roswell, the study of their occupants, and the manufacture of aircraft based on alien technology. What do you think? Likely, unlikely, or somewhere between?
I want to say likely. Just because I want to believe in aliens.
Right?
So bad. And that's what you always hear Area 51 is it's the alien place.
Right. I remember watching Discovery Channel stuff when I was a kid and getting freaked out.
About Area 51 or aliens?
Yeah, aliens at Area 51, sorry.
I think that I am undecided between likely and unlikely.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see. Hold on. I forgot to bring up one thing.
Like you, Austin, I want to believe it. But based on the lack of evidence and stuff for... I don't know. Like, it's just Area 51 specifically that we're talking about here. We talk
That's
about
fair.
UFOs and other things and other
That's a
places
different
or
story
other
for
events.
sure.
That's completely different. This particular thing, there just doesn't
Okay.
quite seem to be like as heavy of evidence as like other encounters or things like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's all kinds of stories of people actually seeing stuff out at Area 51, but there's no genuine stories that come to mind.
So here, I forgot one detail. Well, 1 or 2 details. And I can't remember what it was. I apparently didn't write this down either. I want to say it was 2018. The United States government came out and said that they did, in fact, have a division with some small funding, is what they said, dedicated to... I can't remember the exact words. It was aerospace aviation or something like that. The way they said it, it was clearly UFO, but they didn't want to say UFO. And the small amount they said was $22 million towards that, which I don't think's that small. And honestly, that probably was not... They probably did more than that. But they did say, basically they admitted that they had some people researching alien spacecraft. And then past that, we actually talked about this on Tangent. In 2021, the Pentagon legit said UFOs were real. Are we glancing past this? Do you not remember that, Loston?
Oh, yeah, that's like still a big thing.
The
That's-
Pentagon released like 3 videos and said, we have no idea what these aircraft are. And like...
Yeah, I think you're talking about like the Tic Tac video and the gimbal Go Fast video.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what they were, but you can like hear the people in the videos going, wow, this thing is going so fast. Like, what is this? And they're like, we have no idea, kind of thing. Like, and then the Pentagon said, yeah, these videos are real and we don't know what they are. So I just want
There
you to...
again, that one is definitely its own episode.
Right, definitely. But I just want you guys to remember those things when you're thinking about the legitimacy of these kind of things. Because let's not forget, the government has admitted to a few things.
So, there again, it's not me necessarily saying I don't believe in UFOs or don't believe in aliens. Just specifically with Area 51, I kind of feel like it's probably just a military base.
Fair enough.
So then where are they researching aliens, Ryan?
That is happening in under the ice secret base in Antarctica.
Of course.
Of course. What were we thinking?
You have
Bob
a lot
Lazar-
of aliens in your neck of the woods, though, Austin.
I do. In the desert.
Just
We need to make
going-
it out to like Dugway or something. Go UFO
Which is,
sighting.
some people call that Area 52.
Yep.
Oh, really? That's funny. I did want to point out really quick that if you're really interested in what Bob Lazar has to say, he made his own documentary. I don't. It's probably not on Netflix or anything like that. I think it's called Bob Lazar.
I think it was on Amazon Prime, and it was done by I forget the journalist.
It's called
Is it
Bob
Bob
Lazar,
Lazar?
Area 51 and Flying Saucers.
Yep. We should
that'll-
watch it.
Do go. It has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, so just putting that out there.
It does say it's on Netflix and Prime.
I saw it, and it was good. I
yeah,
really liked it.
I haven't seen it. I'm
you
really
actually- you
curious
watched it,
now,
huh?
though.
Definitely need to
Is
watch
it-
that, and then you need to listen to Joe Rogan's.
That's a good one.
Yeah, his interview with Bob Lazar.
Oh,
Super
they
nice.
actually had him. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I need to listen to that.
That and the episode with David Fravor, the pilot from the USS
Yes.
Nimitz that saw the
Yes.
FLIR UFO video. Sounds good too.
All right. I will add those to my list.
Brian, is this Bob Lazar documentary better than the one we watched about the doctor that removes alien implants from people?
It's so much better. That one was like, oh, it was so slow and so dry seeing that doctor. It was awful. Yeah, this one's actually really interesting. They go into a lot of specific details.
Let's see. Let me find. Okay, you guys ready for the next theory? How do I do this? Ah, nuts! I hit the wrong button. Okay, here we go. All right. Next theory is that it is the central place for meeting or joint undertakings with extraterrestrials. Kind of the same thing, but this is less about spacecraft and more about extraterrestrial in general. So I'm guessing your answers are probably going to be fairly similar.
So say that theory again.
Meetings or joint undertakings with extraterrestrials.
Gotcha. So it's like the UN building of the intergalactic races.
Right.
So it's the United Nations of aliens then.
I suppose so.
I give that a no.
Okay.
Well, I think if it's yeah, I don't know. Probably a no for me too. I think they're more investigating aliens there rather than having summits and conferences with them.
Well, first of all, not that I mean, okay, that's an all right theory, but I mean, there's no like spice to it. There's nothing to like bring it in. There's no abduction. It's oh yeah, you get together and talk.
Okay.
Here's the thing. What human, like, it's just a really funny image for me to imagine like all these high, like, elites from the US that are in the government gathering at Area 51, and this UFO descends from the sky and these aliens walk down and they shake hands and then they just go sit at a conference table and talk. Like, no.
Well, one of the things that Bob Lazar did mention is that when he was walking through the base, he claimed to see through like the window of one of the doors people like operating on a gray small being with a large spherical head, and then he immediately got like yanked away from the door saying keep your eyes down while you're walking or something like that, which in my mind I'm like, why would you do the operation in a door that has a window? At least cover up the window, you idiots.
They walk right past everything you can't say. Whoa, keep your head down. Don't be looking around.
So I'm
What
not
are you
sure.
doing?
Not sure how I feel about that one, but he did mention something about that. So I mean, like maybe it's,
Stanley, what are you doing? Close the windows.
I don't know what they mean by joint undertakings. Joint undertaking is a term rarely used in practice and not well accepted by doctrine. In the larger sense, includes any form of agreement between two or more participants. Oh, well, that's boring. Okay.
What's the next
Next,
one?
the development of exotic energy weapons for the Strategic Defense Initiative or other weapon programs.
100%.
I could see that. Yep, for sure. I think it ties in with researching aliens, though. Researching extraterrestrial technologies, like different propulsion, different like materials, armor, weapon technologies. I think it all ties in together.
Okay. Next. The development of weather control.
No.
No.
People
That
say
one's
it's
up
Up in
Alaska.
Alaska, my friend. Yeah.
I didn't even hear about this at all. Like, I didn't know it was a thing, but apparently there. Did you know that we've tried to try to control hurricanes before? I didn't know that.
And then you got Trump's theory. What if you just drop an atomic bomb inside of a hurricane, huh?
I don't know. That probably would disrupt it enough.
Well, if
But
anyone would do that, it would be America.
anyway, like, I didn't know that. Apparently, we've been like dropping some like chemicals in like hurricanes and stuff like that for a little while now. Well, not recently.
Chemicals.
Aren't they devastating
Not-
enough? Do we need to add more chemicals to
I
them?
don't know if it was chemicals. They said it. They said the name for it, and it was something so weird. I had no idea what it was.
like
Let's put
imagine
in it, and then we'll light it on fire.
Well, like imagine that you survive a hurricane, your house is 3 streets over, everything is destructive, but then there's like lingering chemicals that give you all cancer and you all die from that. Like that just seems weird.
And then they say that they use it in the desert so that nobody can like get hurt or whatever when that weather control goes wrong. I don't know if I believe this one either, but it is a theory. Let's see.
If they could
We
control
worked
the
with
weather
General
down there-
Electric in the attempt to control a hurricane, apparently. From 1962 to 1983, the government ran a project called Storm Fury, where they used silver iodide to weaken cyclones. So, silver iodide, that's what I heard. I don't know what silver iodide is, but I don't want to be ingesting it either.
Silver iodide is an inorganic compound with the formula AgL. It's a bright yellow solid. Highly photosensitive, exploited in silver-based photography. Darkens on exposure to light. It is used in photography and artificial rainmaking.
See?
Ooh, so that we're talking chemtrails.
Yes, sir. All right, next theory. The development of time travel and teleportation technology.
Ties in with aliens and all the weapons stuff. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it could just as easily be researched there as any other military base. Why not?
Right? Next is the development of exotic propulsion systems related to the Aurora program.
100%.
Totally.
Same thing.
I don't know if you guys do you know what the Aurora program is? It is it was in the mid '80s to make Renaissance aircraft, basically that could no one could ever find or see or whatever. They made planes like complete triangles, and it looked ridiculous. If you look up Project Aurora, you can see what they were like supposed to look like. And bruh, it looks like looks like a UFO. If I'm being completely honest.
I could see how someone could mistake that for a weird UFO, yeah.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, some of the stealth aircrafts were also researched or developed at Area 51, right?
Right. Okay. Let's go on to this next one. Activities related to a shadowy one world government or the Majestic 12 organization. You guys heard about
That's
the Majestic 12?
Now we're talking. See, this is what I'm saying. You get something like this, it's spicy, it's good. All right.
Majestic 12 is its own video, or own podcast / video. I'm not even going to touch on that. Well, okay, I'll touch on it, but that's it. Majestic 12, also known as the MJ-12 for short, is a purported organization that appears in UFO conspiracy theories. The organization is claimed to be the code name of an alleged secret community of scientists, military leaders, and government officials formed in 1947. Basically, think Men in Black, similarly. But, yeah, so, what's your thoughts on that? I need Mountain Dew.
The one world government to me that I think is more Bohemian Grove than Area 51.
I don't know anything about that, so that, you'll have to.
You
talk
don't know
that
about
episode.
Bohemian Grove? Oh, that's a good episode.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Well, one of
It's
you has
basically
to carry that one.
basically it's like this retreat for the elite of the elite around the country and the world, and they go there and supposedly they do weird stuff, but they have this ritual where they burn a giant owl that's named Moloch, and they like all wear these weird robes and stuff. But it's like political figures, business magnates, and like powerful people from around the world that go there like every year. So Alex Jones has done, if you can stand listening to Alex Jones, has some information on Bohemian Grove. But interesting. I think we should do an episode on that too.
Well, you can choose that as your topic. I'd love to hear that. That sounds crazy. All right. Let's see. Is there any more noteworthy theories? Unknown chemical research. So like coming up with new elements and chemical warfare kind of stuff.
I definitely think so. There's the whole desert area that they're able to test out there and do whatever they want. So for sure.
Yeah.
Making and or storing of black helicopters. Do you know what black helicopters are? I didn't know what they were.
The stealth helicopters that were used in the Bin Laden raid?
No, this is referring to the helicopters that always seem to follow a UFO sighting to clean up the any evidence. Like Men in Black, basically. But they're
black helicopter?
I didn't hear about it at all until this, so.
Says the black helicopter is a symbol of an alleged conspiratorial military takeover of the United States in the American militia movement, and has also been associated with UFOs, Men in Black, and similar conspiracies. Stories of black helicopters first appeared in the 1970s and were linked to reports of cattle mutilation. So where I've heard of black helicopters is what Jack said, like after people see a UFO, then these government officials come and say, hey, you didn't see anything, but then like they'll also report seeing military helicopters chasing after the UFO. So
interesting.
All right. This one, kind of a no-brainer. This theory is secret military aircraft. I wonder if they do that.
Definitely not.
Oh, they wouldn't keep secrets from us.
We have a trustworthy government.
The interrogation of captured alien/alien autopsies. That's just another alien thing. And those are the most prevalent ones.
So honestly, like I feel the only ones that I really don't think it is like having an intergalactic UN there. That seems kind of...
that's funny.
Why would you do it there? Well, I mean, hey, you take them over to Vegas and you show them a good time. So I don't know.
Sir.
And then
Do you know that every employee gets flown in to Area 51? You're not allowed to drive on? I didn't know that.
They've got their own special airline that just has a red bar going across it.
And then the airlines that fly them is called Janet Airlines, which I thought was weird. I'm like, I've never heard of Janet Airlines before. And that's because it's only used for basically that. That's it.
Highly classified fleet of passenger aircraft operated for the United States Department of the Air Force as an employee shuttle to transport military and contractor employees.
Yep. Let's see. And it actually stands for something. It's an acronym. It's just another non-existent terminal. Could they be more on the nose?
Wait, just another non-existent terminal? So there's more than one?
Apparently. Okay. But there's a few more things I wanted to say here. Let's see. It says in the mid 1950s, civilian aircraft flew under 20,000 feet, while military aircraft flew up to 40,000 feet. The U-2 began flying above 60,000 feet, and there was an increasing number of UFO sightings reported. Sightings occurred most often during early evening hours when airline pilots flying west saw the U-2's silver wings reflection on the setting sun, giving the aircraft a fiery appearance. Many sightings reports came to the Air Force's Project Blue Book, which investigated U.S. UFO sightings. That's the one I was talking about, I believe. Through air traffic controllers and letters to the government. The project checked U-2 and later Oxcart flight records to eliminate the majority of UFO flight reports that it received during the late 50s and 60s. Although it could not reveal to the letter writers the truth behind what they saw. Similarly, veterans of exponential projects such as Oxcart saw at Area 51 agree that their work inadvertently prompted many of the UFO sightings and other rumors. So, of course they're claiming this, but they're basically claiming that it was their U-2 testing that was basically all of the UFO sightings. I mean, of course they would, but it also kind of makes sense.
But the U-2, it looks... You could easily identify that as a plane. It's unique, but it's pretty easily identifiable as a plane.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to say that that's everything.
But I mean, you gotta realize that at this time, civilian aircraft flew at under 20,000 feet, while this one flew above 60,000 feet. It's more than 3 times higher, so they probably couldn't see it that well. And apparently the silver on the wings made it look fiery. I don't know. I'm not saying, it was clearly that, but that's something to take in consideration. I will say it has a unique look to it for its time, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It is unique, but...
And the whole point of it was to fly so high that it couldn't be seen by radar. And achieve that goal. And it could basically fly for so long. At the time, it was insane how the distance it could cover. Flew at over 70,000 feet. Pilots must wear a full pressure suit, similar to those worn by astronauts. I want to see if it had the range on here somewhere. Relatively light at 16,000 pounds. Doesn't seem very light to me, but okay. Range, 7,000, over 7,000 miles.
Dang.
That's a lot of miles. Let's see. Miles, east and west, U.S. I don't know how. What? No. I didn't want to know the distance from my location to Alaska. Thanks, Google. Let's see. Okay, the length of the United States is 2,800 miles wide. That thing could cover that 3 times, almost, without needing to be refueled. Which is kind of crazy.
That's insane.
Anyway, not the point of this episode. Something else is that many of the hypotheses concern underground facilities at Groom or Papoose Lake, also known as S4, which Bob Lazar was mentioned at, and claims of transcontinental underground railroad system and disappearing airstrip nicknamed the Cheshire Airstrip. Have you guys heard of that?
Nope.
Okay, apparently the Cheshire Airstrip, it briefly appears when water is sprayed onto its camouflaged asphalt and engineered based on alien technology. They claim it's just a disappearing runway, I guess, which is kind of weird. They believe that the rumors helped maintain secrecy over Area 51's actual operations. The veterans deny the existence of a vast underground railroad system, although many of Area 51's operations did occur underground. What else do we got? I guess we can go over, in July of 2019, more than 2 million people responded to a joke proposal to storm Area 51, which appeared in an anonymous Facebook post. Titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop Us All, in an attempt to, quote, see them aliens. There's a picture next to it that says, clap alien cheeks.
Alien cheeks. Goodness.
Actually, I was wrong. Apparently somewhere between 1,500 and 3,000 people showed up to the festival, while over 150 people made the journey over several miles of rough roads to get to near the gates. Oh, so only 150 people made it to the gates. 7 people were reportedly arrested during the event. Nice. Alright, that's about an hour. I'm going to stop right there. Thoughts?
It's real. I believe it.
Well, of course it's real.
It's definitely a real place. Aliens, I'm on board. Aliens are there.
There's no way we're the only ones in the universe, so that's clear. But who knows for sure? I want to know if I can't remember. I remember at least a little while ago, Area 51 was blocked out on Google Maps, like blurred out. Is that still the case?
So it seems like in the early 2000s that Russia put out a satellite image of Area 51, and then from there, basically the genie was out of the bottle and they quit trying to hide satellite photos.
That's probably around the same time that they acknowledged the existence of it. Obama was the one that said, yes, it exists. And I'm sure after that, they're like, yeah, we don't care anymore. But I remember looking at Google Maps as a kid and looking at it and seeing it was just like a big, like, blurred square.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Very crazy. And there's seriously so much, like, I like studying for this. I like watched like 4 videos and like 2 podcasts, and there's still so much that like I have no idea about.
Okay.
So tell us what you think Area 51 is all about. And if you would like to hear an episode on Bob Lazar, and what was that one you're talking about? The Paradise Grove?
Bohemian Grove!
Bohemian Grove. That's
So, yeah.
a good one. That's going to take some research.
That'll take you down a dark, dark hole.
Yeah, I skipped a ton of the history just because I don't think people really care about the history as much, like, the aviation stuff as much as the theories and stuff like that. So, there's that. But yeah, Area 51. Aliens.
That's
Well
fun.
done, Jack. Well done.
Aliens.
That's my favorite meme of all time, dude.
So good.
It's a classic,
Aliens. It is.
dude. But yeah. You guys got anything else to say before we wrap up?
I don't think so. It's been fun.
It's been a pleasure. Sorry, we're recording later than normal, and that's my bad. I was on the road, but so sorry to keep you guys up a little bit later than normal.
It's all right.
Just remembered the news that we needed to talk about.
My goodness.
That it is February 22nd, 2022, and in 22 minutes, it is going to be 22 hours and 22 minutes. That's pretty big.
Ooh.
Wow. Well, by the time they listen to this, it'll be the 28th, but that's fine.
Yeah.
In spirit, you're going to be celebrating with us. I'm sure you celebrated in your own way last week, but yeah. Happy Tuesday.
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 All right, thank you everybody so much for listening and or watching. We love you all. And you guys got anything, or am I going to finish this off on my own?
Finish it
Go for
off
it.
strong, just how you started it up strong.
Rude. Thank you so much for watching. Share with your friends if you have friends that are interested in this kind of crazy stuff. Send us what you think what we should talk about. Any crazy stories you've heard about. Any personal stories you'd like us to read on the air, anonymously or not. And subscribe, now that that's a thing, because we're on YouTube. And comment.
We're on YouTube.
On the YouTube. And have yourselves a lovely week until our next episode. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.